hello. Come in. My friend Martin Guitar, he and I were just thinking about life itself. All of us have a life. I've heard teenagers sometimes call it my so-called life, but, they'll pass through that. Life, what a gift it is. Why is it that some people seem to have more life than others? Many reasons, I suppose, but this one came to mind. This is a little children's song. As a matter of fact, it was our first recording when we used to record on Capitol Records. It has a message. It goes like this. Give, said the little stream. Give, oh, give. Give, oh, give. Give, said the little stream as it hurried down the hill. I'm small, I know, but wherever I go, the fields grow greener still. Let's look at two different examples out of the scriptures. The lawyer came to Jesus with earnestness, we can assume. He was a reputable member of the community. He was followed the laws, the Mosaic laws. He was a good man. He asked Jesus this profound question. He said, "What shall I do?" Can't get much more basic than that. And Jesus told him about the two basic laws. We know those. Only two. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, might, mind, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Fairly easy to say, not so easy to do. And you kind of get the feeling that the lawyer was saying, okay, but what's the minimum requirement to get into the heaven? At least he turns to Jesus and he says, but who is my neighbor? As I say, I sense in that a little bit of what's my minimum? Instead of Jesus showing him the minimum, if there is one, he told him the maximum. He told him the story we all know of the Good Samaritan. You remember that story? A man was on his way from Jerusalem down to Jericho, fell among thieves, robbed him, they beat him, left him by the roadside. And some of the notable people came through and passed on the other side. They didn't want to be involved in this. But a certain Samaritan, and that's important because in this day, the Samaritans were considered less important, less valuable, less reputable than the other citizens. So the Samaritan comes. He sees the man. He goes to the man, and he dresses his wounds. He puts him on his own beast and takes him to an inn. Now, up to this point, he's a good man. He's a good neighbor. And he's giving. But here's the line that strikes me. He says to the innkeeper, take care of him. And if it costs more, when I come again, I will repay thee. More? How much more? He doesn't put a limit on it. He will pay whatever it costs. The man changes from just being a good neighbor to being a Christ figure. This is what the Lord offers us. He has given us everything, willingly, lovingly. So Jesus has, it seems to me, turned the situation around. Instead of showing what's the minimum we could do, and maybe who is our neighbor and who we cannot call our neighbor and ignore his problems. No, he opens it all the way up. Shows us that this kind of life is not a set of rules. It's a set of the heart and the mind. And what's the payment for this? Very simply, the Lord says, this do, this giving do, and thou shalt live. That's the secret to the full life. Singing, singing all the day. Give away, oh, Singing, singing all the day. Give, oh, give away. Living is giving.